We got questions and answers. We're going to go over some random things with the website, some basic stuff, some more advanced stuff, just answering questions here. If you can see the screen, you should see the Ghost dashboard. Also, feel free to type out any questions in the chat at any time. The first thing I want to talk about is the roadmap. What do we got on the homepage here, Quantcrawler? If you go to the roadmap, you can look at where we're at and things that are coming in the future. So strategy architect is something Aaron was hinting at. He dropped that little video. It's pretty cool. It's a built-in indicator strategy creator for PineScript for TradingView. I think that people will come up with some pretty cool ideas using that. One person said no audio, so if we could just, if somebody else could confirm that there is audio, maybe it's their settings for this time, hopefully. Command Center is already out. Just needs a little tweaking, but it's out. It's good. Dedicated IPs is going to be big. MT4 just happened. Some people are experiencing a little bit of issues. We're working on that. So the roadmap's really cool. You can kind of see what's going on here. Going back, what's next on my list here? Prop firms. If you go to partners and you go to prop firms, there's a list of all prop firms that we are partners with. There's a little guide here if you want to go through it this way. I like to just skip it and look at them. But if you say, oh, I want to do Forex and I want a 25 account and I don't care about daily loss, and either works. You can put in an email to get the list sent to you, or you can skip and it'll show you exactly what you looked for. Right here is how you can clear that, and you just look at all of them. Important to look at all their rules. Everybody's going to have different rules as far as automation, as far as what else? What am I trying to say? They're all going to have different rules, consistency rules, all that. So make sure to check it because a lot of them change daily. I don't know about daily, but they change them frequently. Let's go back. Where to request indicators. You have at the $9.99 level, QC Trend. If you click on QC Trend and you scroll to the bottom here, you can enter your TradingView username. That will get you QC Trend and QC Trend Strategy. Very popular in the Discord. If you move up a level to the Elite, you will get QC Signals. Is there anything in here? Access granted. It says access granted. I don't know if you type it in here. I think you're just going to type it in the Elite portal. We can take a look back there. So this is where you're going to put your TradingView username in the Elite portal to get QC Signals and Signals strategy presets. And there's no lifetime offered at the moment, but maybe it'll come back in the future. I haven't heard anything. You'll get a lifetime portal. Same idea. Enter your TradingView username. You'll get the bulletproof strategy and anything else that comes with lifetime. Ones that allow automation are noted, John says. Yeah, I wasn't going to bring it up because some of them I noticed, well, somebody brought up one specific one that was incorrect. They must have changed the rules. If you look right here, it says both. It should mean that on the eval, automation's allowed, and on funded, it's allowed, versus the ones that say evaluation only. You can do automation on the evaluation, but not on the live funded account. But one of them in here, I forget what it was. It said both. I think it was future funded. Maybe it's been fixed. But always check the rules. So, anything else on Ghost? We are going to go into Ghost itself in a bit. Let's open TradingView. So, inside TradingView, if you don't know where to find your TradingView username, you can click on your logo right here, and it'll show you your username. That's what you need to request. A few people type in their email on Quantcrawler. It's not going to work. It's got to match your username. And once you are here, this is where you're going to set up your alerts. This is where you're going to set up your indicators. A good way to organize things is by layouts. So up top here, this little drop down, you can create layouts and name layouts. And the little star here is like favorites. It puts them up here as like a quick link. If you look at all these, I try to, like I said, this is trend testing. This is trend MYM and I don't know how to say this, BuckU. I found him in the community page. So I put whoever created it, their name in here. That's how I separate them. So if we go to Prop Slayer, for example, a popular one in the community one, I have just this on here. I have the green clock showing that it's an alert. We created this last Thursday when I went live. We can look at how it's doing. And for each strategy, each account, each whatever you want to call it, each alert, I do a new layout for each one. I don't have multiple indicators on the same page. So like this is just Prop Slayer. And if I go to, where's Aaron's? If I go to Aaron's, it's just one indicator with the alert set on it, just Aaron's trend strategy from the community build. And let me go back to Ghost. If you go to Ghost and you go to the very bottom, there's an option called Community Builds, if you didn't know about it. If you click on that, this is where I'm getting those settings that I was just talking about, like Prop Firm Slayer. If you click on one, it'll tell you what it's for, the time frame, and the settings for the indicator. And a lot of people are posting screenshots of the backtests. So back to here. Alerts is this clock on the right here. This is important. I usually just leave it open. These are all your alerts that you're running. If they're grayed out and says stopped, it's not running. If it says active, you're good. The date next to it is the last time it fired. And if you go to log, these are every time that one of them fired. So I could see that this one happened early this morning for a loss. So that's unfortunate. What else? Where do I want to go from here? TradingView live data is needed. I would highly recommend getting live data. If you don't have it, this little green dot right here will be orange. It'll say delayed, and it's delayed by 10 minutes. So you're trading on 10-minute old data, it's going to most likely not be profitable. If you go to here and you go to, I don't even know, profile, let's look. Products, market data. And you scroll down, we're looking for CME, which is right here. Boom. This is what you want. $7 a month, not too bad. For at least for futures. For what I'm trading, this is all you would need. MGC, MNQ, all that. There is a way around it. If you go to trade and you connect, for me example, I use Tradevate. Most prop firms will give you live data, but you have to be logged in the whole time. If it logs out, you go back to delayed. You have to leave your computer running the whole time. So to me, that's not worth it. I'll pay the $7 to be able to close the screen, not have it running, all that jazz. What do we got next on the list here? Why can't I move this? Struggling. Alerts. So let's go back to my testing preset. Trend testing. This was one I was messing with. I don't remember what it was even from, but pretty good stats, right? Let's look at 30 days. This would have passed in 30 days in eval. I think it's high risk on the yearly, though. 90 days, you probably would have got a payout. You would have passed and probably got a payout. But I think on the yearly, it was over the drawdown limit. Yeah, 5,000. So it's really only been good recently, which a lot of them I noticed right now, whatever market we're in, from about, April or May on, they've all been just trending up. So it's a little worrisome for the future, but we'll see what happens. You always got to change your settings. There's never going to be just a set it and forget it completely. You should always monitor it, always make sure it's going good. But let's say we like these settings. And this is recording. You can look at the settings. 8, 2.1. Stop loss ATR 3.3. Take profit ATR 2. This is on community builds, I believe. I just don't remember the name at the moment. Time filter, 3 different time filters. You're going to uncheck flatten at the end of the window. It's run on these days. And nothing down here. This is 10 contracts. So it's kind of crazy. I normally run 2. But I was just going to take a stab at it with this for fun. This is MYM 4 minute. So let's say we like this. This is trend strat. I would go here. I would add an alert. Trend strat. Because it's a strategy, we're going to do order fills only. In the message, you would delete all this. Let me go back to my list here because I have it saved. You would post this in here, give it a name, hit apply, and then we need a webhook. So, back to Ghost we go. Ghost. I would add a futures ticker. I would go to MYM. I would give it a name. We're going to delete this. I might have actually already set this up. So here's the name. When you're on this screen, this green box here, webhook-controls-contracts, if this is checked, it's going to read the 10 contracts we set in the settings on the indicator. If this is not checked, it's going to run whatever contracts you have set up in Ghost. I personally have this checked, and I make this match what I have in TradingView. Same idea with this blue box. If this is checked, you're going to use the take profit and sell loss in the indicator. If this is unchecked, you're going to use the take profit and sell loss right here. So again, I leave this checked. I think everybody's going to want to use the take profit and sell loss from the indicator. And on this, I usually leave it at that. Sometimes I do 10-10 just because. No take profit. This will not set a take profit. So you'll have to manually close it. You'll have to be watching your trade and manually close it if you use this. The next step is you pick your account. You would select this, and you would pick whatever account you want to put it on. I don't have an account for this at the moment. If you want to use Copy Trader built inside of Ghost, you would turn this on, and you would select all the accounts you want this to trade on. This is separate from the Trade Copier, which is on the left here as its own standalone feature. If you have this on and you have Trade Copier on, they're both gonna fire. You're gonna have double trades for everything. So it's either or, not both. So after you pick your account, you can go to next. You have contrarian mode, which flips the trades. If the indicator says go long and this is on, it's actually going to go short. It's going to flip it. I have not used that. Maybe there's some magical way to make that work. Make a really bad indicator that has terrible losses, but then flip them. I have no idea. This, pretty straightforward. Only take longs, only take shorts, or both. This is if you want to delay a little bit. If you don't want your signal coming in at the same exact time. If everybody has it at 0, they'll all come in at the same time. Maximum trades, pretty straightforward. Maximum trades for the day. Trading hours, again, you can set it inside most indicators, or you can set it here if the indicator doesn't support it. You would just check it, give it a name, and a time. Has to be military time, and it's Eastern. Session close, I like to usually have it in here as, 16:45? So 4:45 p.m. Eastern. Next, we're finally at that webhook part. I'm going to copy this webhook, and we're finally at this part where you would paste this right here. So delete this one. It always pre-fills with the old one, so sometimes you might accidentally leave the old one in there. Don't do that. Paste the new one. Hit apply. Now we're good. We put this strategy.alert, which is on the same page as this. You would select, oh, this is a Quantcrawler strategy. So here it is right here. If you're using a third party, some of them are built to use this same strategy. Some of them are built for 3 separate alerts. You would make it a buy alert, a sell alert, and an exit alert. So it really depends on how the indicator is built. And from here, you could hit Save Changes. It's going to put it at the very bottom. This is the one we just made. I didn't select an account. And this is live. This would be trading. If I put an account in there, this would be live. You can see it pop up under our alerts. It's activating. Let me check the chat real quick. Shout out to John for answering all this. Presets is easy. Yes. Also, feel free to type any questions. John's here to help out. I'm here to show you in person if you need. Can I create 5 groups, 5 different strats, 5 different leaders? No, you cannot have multiple MNQs on the same prop firm. If you put each account on their own MNQ, if one of them is going long and another one's going short, they are going to close both trades. They're going to take away any profit. They're going to give you a warning. And if you do it again, they're going to say, we're closing your account due to hedging. So you cannot have multiple of the same ticker with different strategies running. It will not work out. As long as you're not purposely hedging, you can separate them on different prop firms. So if you want 5 different MNQs, you would need 5 different prop firms. Again, they crosstalk. So if you purposely are hedging, they'll find out. What else is on the list here? I need more questions. Today's a question and answer type of day. TradingView alerts. I think we covered most of that. Trend. Okay, that's important. So trend, regular trend or trend strategy, it enters on every flip. So it would have, let me make this a little bigger here. It would have sold right here, would have entered a sell, and it looks like, I mean, maybe you would have hit a take profit right here if it was something close. And it enters a buy right here. Every time this happens, it makes a buy and a sell. So this would be a buy, this would be a sell. If you don't hit your take profit and you don't hit your stop loss, it's going to exit on the flip. So let me go back into settings. That confuses some people. If you don't have a stop loss set, this is if you want a tighter stop loss. If this is unchecked, it's going to exit when the trend flips, so from green to red. Let me go to QC presets. So on presets, some people get confused. They see this B and this S, and they think that's a buy and sell. That is not a buy and sell. That is like a break of structure or a break of support. So you have the same bearish and bullish smart trail flips as trend. It's not going to enter on that. You have support and resistance breaks. It's not going to enter on that. You would have to see right here, perfect. You would have to see a sell. It will say sell or it will say buy. And you can see it's sold right there and hit stop loss right here. Let me zoom in a little. You'll get a circle, red circle when it hits stop loss, green circle when it hits take profit, and these are your levels. Gray line is where it entered. Take profit, stop loss. Obviously, this is going to be weird because it's the MNQ preset 5-minute on MYM 4-minute. But let's see how it did. Looks interesting. Yeah, not good. It's not built for MYM. Ghost set up multiple MNQ tickers. We went over. Webhooks, we went over. You want one strategy per webhook, one alert per webhook. Community tab, we kind of went over. We could look at it some more, see if there's a good one. Strategy architect, we talked about coming soon. An AI builder to build your own strategy from scratch or from preset ideas. Nice work with QC Auto. Let's talk about QC Auto. Inside of Ghost, I should probably go over more Ghost stuff. I'm all over the place. We're jumping left and right here. Ghost, important. You want to go to settings. Every Sunday, we're going to go to settings. Let me back up. If this is your first time in Ghost, demo mode will be checked and you will not take any trades. Make sure demo mode is unchecked first thing. But what I was saying, every Sunday, you want to come back into here and you want to log back in. For me, I exclusively just use Tradevate. So I would go to manage and all you would do is click connect. I agree. And log back into each of your Tradevate accounts. That refreshes the connection. You cannot just hit refresh. That will not reconnect your account. If you, let's say I have Lucid, if I bought a new Lucid account, I could hit refresh and that would add it. But it's not going to fully reconnect you. And it's confusing because if you do get disconnected, it will still say connected here, but you will lose this that says 9 accounts. So that's kind of how you can tell. I don't know if that will change. It's just something I noticed. Also, if you're in your tickers, your accounts will be missing, or there'll be a weird number in your accounts. That's another sign that you got disconnected. But while we're in Ghost, let's look at history. You can look at your trade history. Logs, pretty important. these should match your TradingView alerts. So this one did an exit at 9:15, and at 9:15 we had an exit. So these should match up. They should be green and say executed. Confidence. These are the QC autos. I want to look for one that failed because there's an AI feature. Okay, I don't have any that failed. If there was one that was bad, oh wait, can I look here? Rejected. Okay, that's fine. If you click on it, any of them, it'll give you more information. And if there was one that failed, it'll have a purple button down here that'll say diagnose what happened. And it'll tell you how to fix it. QC Auto. This will scan the charts for you and decide using AI if there should be a trade and what levels. You would go to add ticker, choose what you want to run it on. I'm a futures kind of guy. Pick what you want, select your broker, select your account, select contracts. Scalping, intraday or swing changes which charts it's looking at. I don't know what these two are. Scalping, I know, is 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute that it looks at. You can pick how confident the AI should be. If you have it all the way up, it's going to take less trades, but in theory, they should be good trades. Versus down, they'll take more trades, but they might not be as good. Stop loss, take profit. All the same stuff you're seeing in Ghost. And then you would hit save. I'm going to delete this. You can look at this one that's on. Trade of 8, MNQ, 70.35, 6:30 to 4. These, when you set these up, they will automatically create a ticker in the ticker area. It'll be at the bottom. Quantcrawler AI is how you can tell them apart. This test one we are going to delete. And we're going to delete the alert. Before we delete this alert, I want to show you how to update the alert. So see how we have the green clock? That clock means these settings and this time frame and chart and everything match the settings in this alert. If I change this, we're going to change contracts to 9. We lost the green clock because this alert still has 10 contracts in it. This is a snapshot in time. It's not like a live reading off of this. So this is still 10 contracts. If you want to update it, if you did a bunch of changes and you want to update it, you can edit your alert, select the top one. Now this is still your old settings right here. It's kind of confusing because I have 3 indicators. But your new settings will always be below it. So trend strat right here is the new settings of 9. And you can see you instantly get your clock back because these settings match this alert again. But I'm going to delete this because this was just a test. What else we got? Trade Copier. This version of Trade Copier over here. That doesn't look good. I haven't checked any of this. Ouch. So, to use this, should be the same similar connections as Ghost. If they're in Ghost, they should automatically be in here as well. In the cockpit, we're going to do a new group. You can name it whatever you want to name it. Select your broker. Select your account. and select what followers you want. So let's just pick a random follower, create group. Now this is made. By default, it's off. So you need to turn this on by clicking that. And now this is running. Takes a few minutes for this to actually get connected. And one point here is if you go to, I think it's edit. If this was like a 250 account and you're running 20 contracts, but this is a 50K and you only want to run 1 or 2, you can switch this to fixed contracts and pick 2. So it will fire a different amount of contracts here. Pretty handy. If you don't see balances, it means you lost connection. Even if this says connected, but you don't see balances, same thing that we talked about earlier. You got to go back into Ghost and reconnect logging into your broker. This is just a test one, so I'm going to delete this. To run a strategy in demo mode, you can get a Trade-of-8 demo paper trading account, and it'll work that way. Or you can turn on demo mode in Ghost settings, but no trades will hit the account, but you can view the log and make sure everything's working and kind of look at the profit that way. Command Center. We have bulk add and add account. Man, this must have been a rough morning or last night. I haven't looked at these, but a lot of losses coming in. So we would go to add account. You would select whatever it is. This one's not in funded. And this is Tradeify. This is funded. This is where's select? Oh, I'm just blind. Right here. Existing account. Type in where your current maximum drawdown is. I don't know it right now, so we're going to just type this in. You can always change it after. And it puts it at the bottom here. You can see it's connecting. But this is awesome. You don't have to log into every single account to see where you're at. You can click here. You can go to your trades, view your last couple trades. So yeah, we got boom, 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 3 losses last night and this morning. Where's some other big ones? 400, 500. This one, what happened here? 700. Woo. Whoa. We'll look into that after. I'm trying to think what else would be important for you guys. It's really just you got to make some good settings that look good in TradingView and test them for at least a week. Test them at least 2 weeks. You can't go by if you have 1 bad day or 2 bad days, even right in the beginning. It's got to run for some time to be able to tell what's going on. Like, let's say for this 7 days, let's say this lost $200, and you'd be like, oh, this is terrible. It lost $200 in the week. But spread that out over the month, it's actually up $3,000 for the month. You might have just been starting it right here on this down dip. So don't judge a book by its cover. I covered everything on my list, so I mean, we're just open to questions here or anything you want to see. We can look at how these balances we're doing. We set up. Also, I don't check my accounts daily. I check them at the end of every week. So last Thursday we set up Prop Firm Slayer, and I can't see what account this is. Give me a second. Take Profit Trader. Okay. Take Profit Trader, I think, is the one that's just my name. Take Profit Trader. This is actually up. So in 1 week, we set this up live last week. Custom range, we set this up Thursday. And it is up $342, running the exact default settings. Looks like we only had 2 losers, 200 and 400, which this 400 is pretty big for these $80 wins, but I guess made up for it. So this one's going good so far. That's awesome. What else we got in here? Logging into your broker is how you would, another way you can check all your trades. Usually gives you instant data. If you log into your prop firm, let's say Apex or Lucid or whatever one you're using, they're usually behind by like 12 hours because they start their day at 6 p.m. Eastern versus Trade of 8, I think, is just that day, like midnight to midnight. This one's down $400. Any word on the AI shootout? No, I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I stopped using QCA, because I thought there was going to be a revamp, so I was waiting to see what would happen. I haven't heard any word on what's going on there. I'm sure it's in the works. There's just a lot on his plate. How could you have contained or avoided those large 2 losses? It's going to be a matter of your settings within the indicators. I mean, let's look at this one. I like this one because your losses are pretty close to your wins. So it's only going to take 2 wins to cover 1 loss. Some of these, well, I mean, look at this. This is $700, but this one's $500. So yeah, it's there. Some of these are, people are posting strategies where you can lose $200 and you're only winning like $10 per trade. So you need 20 wins just to break even after a loss. It may look nice because your win rate is 99%, but if you run into 2 or 3 losses in a row, it's going to take the whole month to become profitable just to break even. So I like ones that are, their risk to reward are much more traditional. I mean, I've been trading since 2010. So I've always had the mindset of I want to risk 1 unit to win at least 2 units. So 1 win would cover 2 losses. In the automation world, it's kind of reversed. You generally risk maybe 2 or 3 to win 1. But on the flip side is you're not manually trading anymore. You can get high win rates. You can make that work with automation. So just something to know about. In the command center, can we add a live broker? Let's look. Prop firm. Custom? Yeah, I bet if you did custom, I bet that covers live accounts. What would you run to save an eval in drawdown? I manually traded 2 Lucid accounts down to 48 $200, so they only had $200 of drawdown left. I put them both on what I put them on QCS, the MNQ 5-minute, and they are back up to 50K. Took a while, but they're back up to 50K. Part of that is luck because they were so close to drawdown. I mean, anything can happen, but it worked for me. Really interested in where QCA goes. Yep. You're very welcome for the presentation. I had to wake up early. Oh, we didn't even look at what happened at market open. I just jumped right into it and had audio issues. Let's see what happened. 9:30, a big old buy candle and brought it right back down. Looks like our orb is what? 29,460 to 29,296. What's it look like further back? Big drop down. Yeah, so that makes sense. We had this giant sell-off right before opening. Usually we're going to have 50% retracement, which we went above. Pullback, whatever you want to say. Shot back down to here. I bet this is going to continue to go up for the day. But that's just me spitballing. Can you go over TradingView backtests for QC strategy presets? For presets, there's nothing to really test. So here's my preset tab. And I'm running the MNQ 5-minute on presets. You can look at the results. So last week, let's look. In the last 7 days, it did not do good. If you just started presets in the last 7 days, you probably think it's garbage. If you look at the last 30 days, we are up almost $900. If you look at the last 90 days, I think this is 2 contracts, by the way. You would have passed an account, or if you already had a funded, you would have got a payout. And you're well within drawdown limits. In the settings here, it's really just these are already predetermined settings. There's nothing to change. You just pick what you want and match the chart in time. If you wanted to add time zones, you can do that. And if you wanted to change take profit and sell loss, turn this on and set your new take profit. I'm trying to think. But it's already set for you. I mean, there's nothing to change. Live NinjaTrader account running. Like any other account, click live instead of prop. So you connected it under Tradevate. That's good to know. What's the recommended contract size? There's no right or wrong. The lower the contract size, the less chance of blowing the account, but the slower it takes to pass. The higher is the reverse. I mean, you'll pass it quicker if everything goes well, but there's a bigger chance of blowing the account. We can look at it live. So let's take the 30 days, for example. I'm running the 2 contracts, which puts us at 860 and 540. And if we bump this up, let's just say 10 contracts. 4,000 and 2,000, so you would have blown the account. So let's dial it back a little bit. Let's go to 8. $21, so that's pretty close, but you would have passed. I'm trying to show a good example here. Okay, if you ran this on 7 contracts in the last 30 days from today, you would have passed. You would have been very, very close to max drawdown and blowing the account, but you would have passed. Big risk of losing, because if we go to 90 days, this is just a 30-day sample. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know how everything will play out. In the last 90 days, 3,400 drawdown. You would have blown an account. Maybe you would have passed and got a payout. Possible. So I like the slow and steady approach. I mean, even if you double it to 4, I'm running 2, but even if you double it to 4, $1,700 in a month is not bad. And in 3 months, is our drawdown still good? Just barely still good, and looks like you would have got a payout. Looks like you would have passed and got a payout. What else we got in the chat? I don't know where the chat button is in the phone if you're on mobile. On computer, it's top right. And I'm going to be getting out of here pretty soon. I still got to I didn't even have my coffee yet. Never mind breakfast. What strategy is the MYM M4? Let me look. I showed the settings, and this is recorded, so you'll see the settings. It was something I was messing around with last night because I was thinking about setting an account up with you guys live. I might do that on the next one. I'll actually buy a prop firm account and go through the whole thing of setting that prop firm account up. MNQ for a minute. MYM. I looked at some Lone Wolf stuff, but I don't think it was his Sky. I can't remember. You know what? I don't think it was in this. I think it was in the Discord chat somewhere. If you are still watching, I can show you what it was. Let's see. Oh, this must be the guy's name right here, because I usually put the name next to it. $3.32. Why is this one contract though? Should be 10. I thought I was going crazy with it. Alerts. Do I have an MYM? Where's my MYM? This is 8 and 2.1. This is MYM 4 minute for whoever just said that. 8 and 2.1. And the only other thing is time and take profit. So stop loss 3.3. Take profit 2. Time filter is this, and day filter is this. The strategy optimizer is a free boom. Well, I don't want to show this because it's going to show my full email. Is a free Chrome extension. It will scan the chart and you can test settings that way. Some people are running into issues if it is not a strategy. If you have the original trend indicator, it won't work. If it's not in English, it won't work. Some other things I've seen. Brendan, this may be off topic. South Africa. Yeah, we got some people all around the world now. Getting to and helping one another hands-on if we live close enough to one another. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. I mean, maybe figure it out in the chat. If you find somebody, you can work something out that way. Also, I want to throw out there's a lot of scams. You're going to get friend requests from people that look like me and people that look like John and people that look like Aaron, all of us. There's a lot of scams. That's not us. We're not messaging you. There's no secret private group. We don't want crypto. We don't want some extra payment to have us invest your money or any of that. It's all scams. Just watch out. New lifetime member. Quick question about this prop firm. Constant error message. I would say open a ticket. John's already on top of it. Okay. I cannot get the live broker account to connect in the command center. Yes. Oh, never mind. It's working. There you go. So, Jimmy B, can you type in the chat command center? Is this what you did? Did you go to custom? You selected your broker and then you went to custom? Is that what happened? Just curious. If you have an account in Ghost and use the orb strategy, can I also manual trade during the New York session and let Ghost run the Asia session? Yeah, as long as you're not interfering, you can definitely trade outside of the automated trading sessions. You could also just turn that off temporarily in Ghost if you're worried. I wouldn't feel comfortable manual trading during an automated session time because it could fire a trade at any moment and cancel your trade out, or you might get hit with hedging. But yeah, if your account only trades on Asia and you're manually trading New York, that's totally fine. I personally turn it off while I manual trade. Are you logged in the Chrome browser? Phone available for Android. It is available for Android. I don't know if it's out at the moment, but it's about to be released, or it is. Android coming soon. John already answered it. Okay, I'm going to be out of here. This is recorded. If you wanted to look back on it, I'm sure Jacob will edit it and take care of all that for us. Any final questions before I go? Thank you guys for taking this time to join me and listen to me ramble. We were kind of all over the place, back and forth. Yeah. Have a great day, everybody. Yeah. Thank you, Chicago Sid. Do this weekly. Yeah, I think the next one might be Sunday. Sunday open. Yeah, I could feel that way. We build a lot of stuff and it all comes out fast, and small fixes sometimes take a little time to get there, but we'll get there. All right, guys, take care. Good luck out there trading.